Hey, everybody, and welcome into Casual Relief Adored Disc Golf Podcast. My name is Ben, joined only tonight by Michael. Matt is on timeout. He said a naughty word on the last episode, so we had to give him a little bit of a timeout so he could think about his behavior. But in reality, he had some prior obligations that he didn't invite us to. So, that's whatever. TFTI, Matt. I'm sure you'll, whenever you do get around to listening to this, because we're not going to tell you what we talked about. But Michael, how are you doing today?
I'm good. It was a long week at work, but it feels good to get to sit down on a Friday night and just shoot the, for lack of a better word,
Shoot the breeze.
shoot the breeze. Let it all hang out. Have a good time.
Well, I always enjoy talking disc golf with you guys. So, a long week of work for me as well. But ready to relax. When we were recording this, we're just over a week away from Clash of the Creek. So my next week's gonna ramp up just as crazy as well. But it's been a good disc golf week here. A new one of the oldest courses in our area in Green Bay just got like the most needed, like the adrenaline shot from Pulp Fiction. That's what that course needed, like in the worst way possible. Like, for those of you listening that might be from the area, or if you're not from the area, I'll do my best to kind of describe this. So this is it's a muni park owned by the city of Green Bay. We live in Green Bay, Wisconsin. This course went in 1997 and hadn't been touched. This park is like a sledding and tubing hill in the winter. So they don't really do much as far as disc golf goes because they didn't do much with it because of that. Like, the baskets would come out in the winter and for the tubing, and it was like on the hill, a lot of up and down. The old layout had its moments. It was fun. You could definitely ace run some stuff. There wasn't like any defined tee boxes or anything. And it just really just needed some TLC, especially on the basket front, because of the constant pulling and putting in, and so everything around it was just eroding, especially because it's a hill. Like, it's so like,
and I would also
falling
say,
out.
I would say, in the area, probably the most trafficked course.
100%
of it all. Like, there's not only the University of Wisconsin, Green Bay is right there, but then also you've got one of the bigger high schools in the area. Right there. So it gets a lot of traffic.
It's also the only full 18 true course on the east side of town too. So but the village, or not the village, but the city approached myself and a couple of other people, just kind of letting us know what was going on. I had prior obligations and just other stuff going on, and I lended help wherever I can. But really just props to the city, because they came in and put together their own design and layout, and then it was just refined by some members of the club, and it's just really just well done. It was that adrenaline kind of boost, and it's gotten really good feedback, and it's just kind of like one of those breaths of fresh air that you just never really knew the community needed. But it's a lot. I mean, I went out there and did the UDisc map for it today, and it's I haven't played it yet, but there was a ton of people out there. It looks, just the layout's a ton of fun. It was just a ton of fun to walk. So there's still some of those classic kind of holes that are still kind of there that people know and love, but then really utilizing a lot of the property. So good time. So definitely on the list for anybody coming to the Green Bay area to hit up, because you can probably play that one in, I would say, probably about 90 minutes and have a good time.
We love it. It used to be a 45-minute course. Like, if you were really whipping through it, it's a workout, but you could get through it in 45 minutes. So.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Because none of the holes are. I don't think anything out there even currently is still really over 350. 350 might be the longest.
Hey, but they got something to 350 before. It wasn't close to 350.
No, I would say. I mean, that's like a gas. Like 350 is probably like a gas, but it's just but there's also room for growth out there too. Like, you could put in a couple of extra pins and some sleeves out there. So, but I think it's it'll also be really fun for the guys and gals that play league out there, as well, just solely because more score separation now. There's a lot more wooded holes. There's a lot of good stuff going on. But so yeah, that was good for the area. But what we'll be talking about tonight is before we do buy or sell, that's always our closing segment. But we're going to be talking tonight about secondhand or resale, or whatever you want to call it, the disc market. So I'll just kind of open it up. I know Matt was looking to move a lot of his collection, and he was kind of figuring out his options. I had just actually been selling some discs myself, just so stuff that's not making the bag, and definitely not going to make the bag, just with as I'm adding more. So I guess my first question to you is that, are you moving anything lately, or are you just kind of collecting, or do you need to go through your stuff, or kind of what's going on with you?
Yeah, for the longest time, I would say the first like 3-4 years of me just like testing out things, I definitely was just buying things left and right, getting my hands on frisbees as much as I could. And this was prior to 2020, so um, the disc market was still kind of just like pretty rich, and everyone was moving things left and right, and the choices were all there, and none of really like the price hike up was there. Which is, it's there now.
Yeah, it's there now. You used to be able to get like a really premium distance driver for like 18, 17.99, something like
So
that. And now you're at like 21.
I got a Luster C-Line DDX back before I knew like what I was really doing with frisbees. And I got that, which probably would go for $26 right now. I got that for like $16.
It's crazy.
It's wild. So I was purchasing things left and right. But I would say for the last, since 2020, I haven't really purchased like a disc that I was like, oh, maybe I'll try this out. No, everything that I've gotten like is a solid in my bag, and I'm not looking to move on from it.
Are you just at this point just adding either backups of things or like special runs? Is that kind of where you're at?
Backups and special runs, yeah, maybe, yeah. Sometimes I'll like hop on and get the Sex and Firebird collection, but I haven't kept up with that since like I think probably 2020 was the last run I got of the Sex and Firebirds, and that's probably like really the most collectible disc that you
are they
get.
though? Like the thing is that
I think recently no.
Yeah, like the thing is that like they were so hot. Like I remember having a conversation with Bobby Brown from Clash in Vegas, because like the line was just out the door for the Vegas ones. No, the Vegas Firebirds are different. They're a different breed. The prices come down on them though, because they've even ramped up the number that they've had. But that goes to the point of, I was talking to Bobby about this, is that they're still collectible, and like people like them because, and they get them because they get them to complete like their they get them to complete the collection, right? Like they want like the 2015 through the current one, but like so many more people are like just, they're bagging them and they're throwing them. But it's just like, I think like you look around at even just our area and our retailers, like, everybody's carrying them if they can. So like, yeah, I get what you're saying there about the Firebirds for sure, though. It's just it's still just a great disc in general, but the collectability and the price is probably neutralized a ton.
Yeah. The last like really expensive one that I got was a 17.
Firebird. Okay.
And those aren't nearly close to the 15s, but you can still, like, a good fresh 17 can fetch like 200, I think.
Yeah,
unless something is crazy drop.
Forgive me. I mean, I know we talked about special discs and stuff previously, but forgive me. But is there something special about the 17 run that I'm just like kind of missing?
It was gummier and glidier. The plastic was phenomenal, and it was a lot straighter than any of the other Firebirds.
Yeah, because they dump so hard, and
Yeah,
that's obviously the appeal of a Firebird just in general is that it's pretty overstable. But
and this might be a little hot take, but I think that a 17 Firebird was the last really good stamp on a Firebird.
I would have to go back and take a look. Some might argue that Nate's hand drawn from April Fools is the best
Yeah, that
is the
could
best
be.
stamp.
Yeah.
Dude, I've seen.
Uh,
Speaking of that, I mean, we're just kind of riffing tonight. It's
yeah.
just like,
Oh yeah.
those things are going for stupid numbers.
Mm-hmm.
Like and I get it, but it's just like,
Oh yeah.
but at the same time, like Innova dropped like a second run of them too because they realizes like, oh, there's something here again, just like the Halo Polecat. The Halo Polecat was like the meme disc, and now everybody can get a Halo Polecat. I'll be the first to admit, I thought I was special when those dropped, and I snagged one right away. And then like I saw that they came out, and it's just like, and then like everybody's got one, and it's just like, well, that's less fun.
I think that that's, let's just jump right into that secondary market like conversation. But I think that's what all of our manufacturers are doing right now is that they're like, maybe we don't really like the secondary market, so we're going to just keep on pumping out discs in order to drive down the value of the secondary market. What are you thinking?
I think that's a valid and a fair point, but it's so hard to control the secondary market that I don't think that they really even care. Like that's the other thing that that's like the counter argument to the point you just made is right. Like they don't care because one way or another somebody had to buy the disc, and they only sell either direct to consumer or they sell B2B, and and I think that they genuinely don't care because if they are being flipped on the secondary market, more times than not, these are people that bought them directly from them and then are now selling them for these outrageous prices versus the wholesale market, because the people in the wholesale market, like they don't care because then the wholesale market is obviously wholesale price, right? So they're making more money. But I don't know. I think Firebirds are just going to be an interesting thing on the secondary market because I don't think that they've run its course yet. Like they're always going to be good because it's a good like it's a good disc in general, and like the runs are always cool, and the stamps, like you said, generally are pretty good.
Great. Yeah.
But I just don't know what the demand's going to look like. I feel like, I mean, I understand it is a tour series, right? But like I feel like it's just going to become like the Onscoggins Leopard at some point, or like a Calvin Destroyer, maybe with a little bit more hype, but I feel like it's just not going to have like the resale value anymore, and it's just going to be like another run. But
time will only tell, and he can't make it like a signature series because that's already Ken Climo's stuff.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, Kenny has the Firebird.
He has the 12-time Firebirds. He has the 12-time just about everything, but.
He's clearly doing something right because Firebirds bought his house and his electric truck.
That's true. Yeah. Oh, gosh.
What's Go ahead.
Go for it. Yeah.
No, I was just gonna say
I don't have anything to add anymore.
I was just gonna say what are some other like maybe tour series or like really collectible discs that you've seen that are like out there that like people are paying bucks for? I think the ones that I've seen recently lately are Doombirds, like original run Doombird, Doomburbs are climbing because obviously those are never coming back, or like there's zero chance of that. It's like all the Simon stuff, but like that's obviously time sensitive for the reason for those.
That's gonna be the way that everything kind of goes for like now. Like you've got your 5 to 10 people that are really making splashes in the market. Like on a personal level, we've talked about this before.
Well, let's do it. 10, let's just recap it quick. Let's see.
Your top 10 disc sellers are going to be those people.
Let's just do it.
Paul Macbeth, Ricky, Calvin, Nate Sexton. He may not be in the top 10 of
like on the course
players.
Yeah.
But when his name gets put on a disc, people are going to buy it. Eagle, Simon. We're at 7 right now?
Germ. People do like the Thunderbird. People do like buy Germ Thunderbirds.
And I would say then Kristen and Paige.
Yeah, I would say that they're probably
Page might no, Page hasn't fallen off on disc sales. People are still purchasing
people don't purchase Page discs because they're tour series. People are purchasing Page's discs because
because
she
of the disc.
designed them.
Yeah,
Because she
yeah,
designed them. People are buying the Passion and the Fierce. Like the Fierce is a really good, nice putter.
yeah,
I
yeah, absolutely.
before I was on the Lone Star team, I was putting with Fierces, and I am anybody that sees me out in person, like if they don't see me just on this, will see that I'm a very small individual. So like,
Oh
and
yeah,
I don't have big hands by any means. So I like a really shallow putter. So like that's
for
why I
sure.
go to the Fierce and now the penny putter. But so yeah, but back to the point, right? Like I think like people are buying
So those
Page
like
discs, but not
10.
Page stamp discs.
Yeah,
Is there
yeah.
anybody
So
else
I
that
would
we're
say like
missing?
what 10? Yeah, 10 to 11
As,
people.
oh, here's what I'll say: as soon as Gannon leaves Prodigy, add his name
Yeah,
to the
yeah.
list.
But then that's I think what it is. It's the switch. Like discs are at their highest value after someone has switched teams because of course you won't be able to get them anymore.
Or you win a major.
Yeah, but then is that the commemorative disc or is that like all your old stuff then gets resurfaced?
I think it just depends on the manufacturer, right? Because like if Calvin, I mean, we don't, yeah, we say this all the time, but it always just creeps in. Like not to be too current events, but like if Calvin ends up, we'll know by the time this comes out, right?
Yeah,
But if Calvin wins Champions Cup, then he guarantees himself a signature disc for life. So
yeah,
like
for sure.
that's like it just depends
Yeah,
on just depends on the
because
manufacturer.
yeah, that's the way that Innova works. Is that as soon as you win something big, you get your name on that for
Unless you're Val Jenkins, and that is just like the saddest story of all time.
yeah, for real.
Um,
Um, so I would say yeah, those 10 to 11 people, and I don't think Katrina moves as much as
it's just
we think.
Katrina's been on two teams that no one that I know throw. Like I
Yeah,
knew people
yeah,
that threw the blowfly because they could taco it and throw it,
yeah,
and PDGA
yeah.
rules say you can't do that anymore because you can't deform the shape of the disc
Purposely,
anymore to throw it. So
because
that was
what
the
isn't that special caveat for like
blowfly
you can't
and
you
elevation
can't
disc.
right you can't intentionally leave the mark, but if it's deformed from play and you can tell that it's deformed because of play, then it's still fine, right?
You just can't active basically the way that I've interpreted the rules is that it's
Yeah,
literally just the blowfly rule is that you can't like grab it. You can't misshape the disc and then throw it. Like if it gets
yeah.
misshaped and you reshape it back out, like then I'd have to look up the rules and I
Well, yeah,
regardless,
we
that's just
don't
kind of
have
the
time for
rule.
that.
But
Yeah.
either way, back I'll steal this boat back on track. Um
Uh-huh.
That was the only
um
disc from DGA that I knew that people threw. Like I knew that like
yeah,
some people putted with steadies, but like not a ton. And
but at
like
that
then
point,
before that,
like
she was on
people are
Prodigy.
doing it
So
because of discraft plastic, not because of the actual DGA putter,
yeah,
right? Like,
I would say that's fair. Um, I don't
yeah.
know. It's just weird. Like DGA should have just stuck to baskets a long time ago. That's a hot take for me, but it's just like their baskets are the best baskets on the market, and their
Yeah,
discs are
truth.
great quality, but like no one buys them because they don't do any cool stamps, and it's just like meh.
Yeah. Um. So yeah, I think that when it comes down to it, those players have their discs and they're going to be at their highest value after they switch. That's my personal opinion. Is that
Oh
when they
yeah,
make a switch, that's when their discs.
bless you.
Whew, okay, we're back.
No, I
We're
got you.
better
I
together.
think so. Yeah,
Um,
I think you're right, and I think that because of the Lozado and because of everything else, because like the
mm,
Lozado has great secondary market
yeah,
value. I think I think MVP has made their buyout to Discmania like 3 times over
already
at this point.
Done.
Like they're just laughing.
So back to collector, like the actual specific discs. Second run FDs are gonna always be that collectible disc.
The Innova specifically, anything.
I mean, I guess the second run FDs, I don't think they even have any made in the past like 3 or 4 years.
No,
even that, like even before they like officially made the switch. So second run FDs, and I think first run PDs. You could say a bunch for Discmania, like whatever.
Well, that's because they just this is their own problem. They want to know. You want to know why all the Discmania stuff from Innova is like worth a butt ton is because they were just like, we're just not making this for a while. We'll come back at some point, but you guys got to settle for the stuff made by eQuinn for a bit,
right?
Not that that's a bad product by any means, but it's not what people were wanting. They were just like, "Can I get an MD3, please?"
Right.
And Discmania was like, "You have MD3s at home."
Yeah. Anything, not saying that anything that's OOP, because of course things that are OOP for a reason.
People like very specific runs of harps, like that. Ricky first title run harp, like that era.
Were those BT hards?
I'm not entirely sure. I just am. See, the algorithm on the social media has got me in a chokehold because you become a part of like 2 or 3 like collector groups or buy or sell groups for manufacturers you like, or you were trying to sell something, and then the algorithm pops up and you find things. And I've seen so many things that are on Trilogy stuff that people are like, I'm looking for 2012 or 2014 run harps, and I'm like,
wow,
wasn't it all made in like the same factory anyway? Like, is there really that much of a difference? But like, I guess when you think about it, like in terms of like,
maybe, yeah,
I guess like if you like when you think about it, like what was going on with DD, like they were first trying to get into the market, and it was just Latitude at that time, right? Like it wasn't House of Disc, it wasn't like any of the other brands.
Like West Side wasn't bought out, of course. Like they were all like still separate but working together.
It's more of like a co-op than it was like
yeah, which is wild to think about. That's how far that's come.
Were those the glory days? Are we just living in a fantasy world now?
No, they may be our glory days, but I don't think.
Yeah, I don't know. There is something to be said though about like 2019, where it was like Paul had just switched to Discraft. The market hadn't like truly blew up yet, so you were like, something would drop and you'd be like, yeah, I can get that. It's 45 minutes later after the drop. I was doing whatever. Can't do that anymore.
When it came
gotta be on that like white on rice.
I truly started paying attention to like disc golf in like 2015. So that's when I like first started to like really consume like frisbees and like buying as much as I could. So that's kind of where I like started, and I guess that's my heyday for like, oh yeah, look at the discs from this time, which is crazy to think that that's 8 years ago, almost more.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, do you think that there really is any? I mean, obviously, there's always something to be said about specific runs, right? Like we know that, like that's just science at this point. But do you really do you think that there really is that? Could be that much of a variant between over those 8 years that like makes things super special? Because like I don't like, I think like I feel like there's not a drastic difference. Like I know like we talk about now about like Lone Star blowing up the market with like their plastic. They are just innovating like a specific type of plastic that they're bringing in. But like only time will tell like with them like how their runs change, but if they do at all. I don't foresee that, but like I just like looking at like the big guys, like I don't notice the difference between a Color Glow Firebird from 2019 and 2023. Like I just don't.
No.
So it's all us. It is all the disc golfers that are
is.
just assigning fake value and fake points to whatever things are.
Yeah.
No, I
And
say
then
that take that with a grain of salt, because yes, we have talked about this, that like maybe like there's variances in the mold, right? Like some came out a little bit flatter, or like some are a little bit more dumpy. But like when we're talking about just plastic, and we are assigning the value.
Maybe they've like added some things, like, but then they're gonna market that. Like, it's not like, so like when G Star plastic came out, that was wild. Like um when Dynamic came out with their Lucid X and their Fusion X, that was a relatively big difference. So maybe that shift, but other than that, they're just adding like stabilizers to the plastic that when it hardens, the disc stays hard. Like, but other than that, no, the plastic has stayed the same, completely the same.
Yeah, the market is.
Look at us being consumers.
Yeah, it's weird. It's just weird that like I said before, I'm moving some stuff, and I'm just like, I'm trying to make.
What are you moving?
Okay, so the stuff that I've just recently sold was I sold a pair of discs. It was just it was a Paige Pierce 5-time ESP stalker, not a special stamp, but it was literally just like her signature on it, and then just a stock run swirl, like both just stock run swirlies, but the stock run swirly Undertaker.
So good.
Yeah, great disc. I just obviously people know by now, like I just don't have a need for them at this time.
No.
And it's just like for me, I think Alpha is from Lone Star is very comparable to ESP.
Okay, yeah.
Personally, not for everybody, but personally. No. But also, like, those two discs are not like I'll get to this maybe in a buy or sell someday. I don't think there's really a new disc that can be created yet. So like there's an Undertaker from somebody else, there's a Stalker from somebody else. Like I'm always going to be able to find something that feels good that does those things. So I flipped those to a member of a local group just because, why not? People are looking for things that are very utility, and those are both very utility, and I can get a couple of extra bucks and,
whatever,
yeah,
big time.
Buy some stuff. Like today I bought a hooligan cash. Here's my shameless plug. Next week Friday on the Night Owls podcast, you'll be able to hear my interview with Garrett from Hooligan and Disc Barn. But then I also have I had a Clash anniversary box that I picked up over the last year. Just stuff that wasn't making the bag, not because it's not a great disc. It's just I just didn't have the use for. So I sold a gentleman the special edition Mint, which is like their putt. It's like their zone. It's an overstable approach.
Yeah.
Great disc. I just didn't throw it. So I was just like, let's get this in the hands of somebody else. So I sold it to him for. Actually, like legit made some money on that because people are willing to pay for that Clash stuff. Sold it to so I sold this to him for 25 plus shipping. And then today I sold a glow popcorn from the anniversary box for $30 to a young gun in Florida. I'm not like in the business of outing anybody, but this guy, he's a kid. Like based on because I sold it over a Facebook group, he's like at least 15. And I looked up his name because I just like kind of clicked on his profile picture just to see make sure like I was talking to the right person in the group. And he's like, and I clicked it and I saw his profile photo. He's like 15, and then I was like curious. I was like, this kid's got good form on his profile photo. Yeah, he's 15 and 991 rated. And playing open, and I'm like, okay. I just sold a disc to a kid that's gonna go win worlds someday. So maybe I'll hang that in my cap. But then I've got a couple of other things from the anniversary box that I just don't, that are like listed, that I just don't, just didn't throw. Still a great disc, just not like one. I don't have the arm speed to throw a pepper. Like, it's so beefy.
Yeah, those are.
And then the other one that I have is a first run mango. So I've got those listed, but if I don't get them, if they're not sold by Clash of the Creek, I'm probably just gonna raffle them off, because Clash of the Creek's presented by Clash Disc, so figured get somebody else some extra Clash love, get something going for them.
Yeah, and talk about a brand that hasn't been up here like at all, really, when it comes down to it.
No, I'm excited to see that. Have you bought anything recently that you're excited about, or?
No, like I said, the most recent addition to my bag has been a wasp tooled Buzz SS, which when I played D-Glow 2 years ago now. Yeah, it was 2021. I played D-Glow in 2021.
Not a big deal.
Right. I didn't play well. I took top 50, but
I mean, was that your first time ever playing Toboggan?
No, I didn't play. We didn't play Toboggan.
Oh, you didn't play Toboggan. Okay.
No, that was reserved for MPO and FPO.
Bummer.
We played the other two Kensington Metro Park courses, and then we also played the Hudson Mills Monster that was out there. So I got that in the players pack, and at the moment I was like, whatever, I'm just gonna toss this to the side. It's a cool tournament stamp that I'll just keep for fun, just a nice memory. And then I actually took a look at it because I was like, Wasp's Tool Buzz SS, like, what does that mean? And it's the bottom of the Wasp and then the top of the Buzz SS. And what that means is you have an incredibly straight disc with the stability of the Wasp, but the glide of the Buzz SS. And I was like, well, I got to give this a try. And so that's been the most recent one. And so that's one then I traded a couple discs to my friend group that had it. So I have a backup of that now. And the only place that you can get it now is Ledgestone. But other than that,
that's a great segue. Is the hype there around Ledgestone discs? Like, I know that they have like runs of stuff that are cool, but like, I don't see people flipping them for anything. They're cool. People buy them, of course, right? They support some players.
Yeah. Like, they support a lot of players. I mean, they support a couple local players to us, actually. Peter Green, they support him, so that's wonderful. But they just have so many. Like, they have the different waves.
Yeah.
I think they get like 4 waves a year or something like that. 3 waves a year, maybe. I'm not sure.
It's like 3 or 4, and then there's then you got to also break that down where there's like 12 discs in each wave.
Yeah. And so I think it's not that it's flooded, but I just think that there's a little bit too much there, like, to pick from.
Nobody has that deep of pockets.
No, there are some, but
not
us.
Of course, there's exceptions. There's exceptions to every rule, right? But like, no normal person has that deep of pockets to buy all
one
this
of every wave,
from every wave. Like,
no. And while it would be fun to, it's just not realistic.
No. And you're never gonna throw all of them.
And try all of them. Yeah. Good night. So yeah, I think that it's just a little bit too much. Like, not flooded, but you're not trying all of them, so why buy them?
No.
But bought some 6 Claw Onyx. I throw those a lot, but there's no difference in flight from those to their stock, so that's.
Have Claws run their course? Thing. That's a question. Claws run its course of being cool. Like, people are gonna buy it because it's Macbeth, but like, at this point, like, they released so many discs with the 6 Claws. Like, is it special anymore? Because they didn't. The disc itself not special. right?
No,
Like
no,
that's
none of them
yeah,
special. Yeah, there's nothing different about a six claw whatever to a stock run of a Luna, or you know. Um, yeah, I don't think. I
I don't know.
think that if you got like one of the like really like rare stamp plastic color combos, then you have something. But then that's like
Yeah,
that's going to be so few and far between, and that's just going to be rare because of the rarity, not because of the actual disc itself.
fair.
Um,
Have
but
you
other
ever
than that, like, no.
have you ever snagged anything like off of a Facebook group or anything?
Uh, Not in a long time.
I
But
try.
That Luster DDX that I got
Yeah,
in like 2018, yeah, I got that off of a Facebook group.
Facebook groups can be really cool, or like the dollar disc golf auctions, or just kind of auction pages can be cool. But like, you get some real scummy people on there, of course. Like that's just the
Yeah,
nature of it. But like, I try and be one of the good guys in there to hopefully get some karma. I
right.
ship everything out in either a bubble mailer that I put more bubble wrap into,
Okay,
or a box with bubble wrap. So I try and be
nice, dude.
like I don't try and be like a cheapo. Like there are people that just
No,
like put this in manila envelopes and are just like, here you go. Or
yeah,
like
and no thanks.
some people are anti bubble mailer. I am not anti bubble mailer as long as like you beef it up or like it's a good
Yeah,
bubble mailer. But
and I've seen like the bubble mailers with the like not a full cardboard box, but like a cardboard like
yeah,
slab to kind of give the mailer a little bit more stability. I've seen
yeah,
that. I mean, honestly, I I this is kind of my hot topic. It's I don't like buying plastic that I don't feel. Like if I can't feel the specific plastic, I don't want to buy it really.
I can I can honestly say I've never bought anything off of a Facebook group. I've only ever sold. I sold my
Okay.
I sold my LVC Toro to a
Okay.
guy, and
Yeah.
I've sold two discs. No, I've sold discs into Oklahoma, Alabama, and Florida. Uh, and then I also sold my LVC Volunteer Blueberry Firebird,
Ooh.
but I sold that to a dude uh, on the Facebook group, and then he goes, "Oh, are you still here?" Like referring to being in Vegas. I was like, "Yeah." And he goes,
Yeah.
"Oh, I'll just meet you at the tent and give you cash. The government doesn't need to know about this." Verbatim, verbatim.
I love that.
But yeah, I've never bought anything off of a Facebook group. Other
No.
than what I will say though is that I think it half counts. Is that I have bought something off of like our local page and met up with a guy right in
Okay. Yeah.
town. So like I
Yeah.
haven't,
Half counts. Yeah. But you
but
know that person already, right?
like I didn't
You knew
know
that
them, but
person,
like
or what?
I didn't like I haven't like I wasn't like disc golf buddies with them. Like I knew who they
Okay.
were. Like I trusted them. Like and I saw pictures of it, and I'm like,
Yeah.
but like that also is like, oh, I know what this plastic feels like, and I know what this is.
Yeah.
Like I'm not going in completely cold of just like I've never felt this before. I have no idea what this is. I'm just gonna buy it, right? Like I did some research. Like I had some sense of
Yeah.
what I was buying.
But yeah, that's just me. I if I don't feel it, I don't really want to buy it. So
Yeah,
not that I've been burned in the past, but I just like to know exactly what I'm feeling and what I want. So
I know I've been starting to go through the collection a little bit. Not that really like that I the thing is that all of my stuff is like either too like most of the stuff is like I use. Like I try and use it and I try and
yeah,
figure it
yeah,
out. Like so I give it like a good run before I decide like this isn't
it's
for
gone.
me. Like I need to give it like I'm like trying to give something a fair shake. So like I don't really have
Yeah.
much that's like worth selling. Is there anything like are you starting to go through your collection to see if you've got anything that you'll kind of move on for, or are you just like the collection it is what it is?
My collection is what it is, and I'm only gonna really purchase things that I have an interest in throwing. interest in backup, interest in just like, oh, maybe I'll try this one someday. How many discs are in your collection? Would you guesstimate?
The last time I counted before I sold those handful, it's like 170.
Okay. Yeah, I'm coming up with like 140. And Matt, even though he's not here, Matt is well over the 400 mark.
Yeah, like
he has two. He told us in our group chat that we have, he has over 200 that he is fully not wanting to throw, just wanting to get rid of. 200.
Yeah,
it's just that blows my mind.
This is I don't want to throw Matt under the bus, but it's just gonna happen. Matt has lived a very comfortable life in the sense of just that he's been like, yeah, I'm gonna buy that. Like he's just is like, yeah, I'll get that. And then like I'm like the complete opposite, where it's just like, I already have two discs that already do this. And the stamp's not different. Do I need to do this?
He is the type of player that is just like, he hears what a disc might do and is supposed to do, depending on like whoever's describing it. And he's just like, oh, I want that. And that's the world that he lives in for his disc golf game, is like, he hears someone describe something and he's like, I want it.
And there's no second guessing. That's just kind of the point I was getting at. Was
he
like,
just goes
not from like a financial sense. Like obviously if that's his decision, that's his decision. When I look at this now, or even in the past, I was like, well, I have a 7502. Like maybe I should give the one I have a second shot before I like buy this one.
Fair.
Matt's just like, oh, gotta grab it.
Here we go.
Yeah, he's not gonna like this part of the conversation. So Matt maybe just earmuffs, I guess. But
he knows full well. He's talked about it. He knows full well.
You know who? Just speaking of collections, 400 is a crazy number. Like, but not like insane compared to like some people. Terry Miller, the disc golf guy. That man has maybe the biggest disc golf collection in the state of Wisconsin.
I think him or Mike Harrington.
Yeah, Mike Harrington. Shout out to you, Mike. You're probably listening to this. Thank you for being a very loyal listener to our show. I exchanged messages with him earlier this week, and he gave us props. And he says that you actually have this, so you gotta message him and figure out what's going on with that from a previous event. I'm gonna message him, or Mike, if you're listening, message me. I want to know how many discs you have. Mike has got two collections going. He's got his disc collection and then his course collection. And I have to look at it I'd have to look at his Facebook post from a while ago when he went on vacation. But he's been to like well over 1,000 courses and played them. And so with that, but back on track. Terry has 2 storage units of just discs and discs at his house. And part of the problem is that he's a retailer too, but he's like doesn't have a storefront, and his website gets updated semi-frequently because of just like the nature of his career and disc golf, and then he's on the road all the time. So like I've seen YouTube videos and stories and stuff of him where he's just been like, oh, I found this box from Discmania that was a drop from 2013 or like some year. It was like, don't open until this day. And then he's like, well, I'm opening it now. And it's like 2 years later. But I will say, do you take a guess? He collects one disc in particular that he's on the hunt for, that I saw him in Vegas and had a conversation. Well, Shane and I had a conversation with him that he was carrying 3 of them. And he has a very specific thing that he collects because he said, I'm on the hunt for this. And then it's the only thing I collect. And then Shane just looks at him and goes, really, Terry? Okay, and he goes, okay, it's the only thing I really search after.
What would it is? It like I'm just
Just take a
not like
guess.
giving it away.
Not that you think you'll be.
Is it like a variation of a popular disc, or is it just like an off the wall disc that you're just like,
It's
what?
not an off the wall disc. It's a specific run. It's a specific run and slash type of a mold.
Okay, so I would say like a San Marino rock.
Close. He collects Ontario rocks.
Ontario rocks. Ooh.
Yeah, he
Okay.
collects Ontario rocks. So that's like what he pays out the big bucks for. And like, so LVC is an Innova event. Obviously,
Yeah.
we know that. So like, there are rules of like what you can vend and what you can't vend. But like, man, there's some people that are like that have vendor shops there that are specifically just selling Innova like discs of $100 plus. Yeah, I went and looked at some stuff and I was like, I shouldn't even be touching this right now. They have like a like I saw like a disc in there that was like $500 that was just like it was like a very very early AVR. Like one of like not I don't want to say a first run, but it was like a Ontario like early run AVR. And I was like, why? Like obviously it's double bagged and like all this stuff, but it's just like you pop that thing open, it probably smells like crayons.
Yeah. Disintegrate in your hands when you touch it.
Oh God.
I couldn't imagine shelling out that much cash for a disc.
Yeah, because you're not going to throw it.
What would you, like a disc that you're going to throw? And we talked about it last week, like, you know, for what we would pay for a round. But what is the amount that you're going to pay for a disc that you're regularly going to throw?
30.
30? Okay.
But it's got to be like legit. Like it's got to check all the boxes. Got to be cool stamp, swirly, good plastic, and like a thing that I throw. Like right, like that. It's got to check all four for me to pay 30.
Okay.
What about you?
For me, it's 50. I paid 50 a pop for Philobatros destroyers because they're that 168 swirly star, and they're my max distance destroyers. I love them; they just go forever.
I would say that's because I say the difference in our price range is probably because you throw more discs that have more variant runs of them, and for me, just the nature of my bag at this current moment, because of the things previously discussed all the time, there are no difference in runs right now.
Where my difference in runs will be destroyers and then FDs.
Yeah.
Everything else I throw in between there and below is going to be, you know, like I put in a stock one and it's good to go. Pull in a new one, fresh, whatever it may be, it's good to go.
What was the first disc that you really ever noticed differences in runs? Like just quick hit right off the top of your brain.
Like I bought two. Like I'm just trying to think of like I had two of them and they flew differently. Oh man, I don't know actually. It was I don't know because I didn't even start layering discs until like I was like relatively serious. So it was probably the Destroyer, because it is either Destroyer or FD. Because I was like, okay, this one is my overstable one, and then this is my understable one.
So what I'll say is that for me, when you look at my collection, like there's really not a whole lot of like overlap. Like I don't have a ton of the same mold. So like for me, like it really became apparent was when I was, and I know this is like kind of like it's twofold. Like there's two parts to this as far as like the first ones that I really noticed were like the Cloudbreaker, not the current Cloudbreaker, like the Cloudbreaker that like you can just get up and down. but I noticed a
Yeah.
big difference between the Cloudbreaker 2 and the Cloudbreaker 3.
Okay. Yeah.
But then like that's obviously different because that's a year to year and they kind of retool it a little bit.
Yeah.
But the biggest one for me was that when I noticed was Sea Line MD3s.
Oh.
Now, obviously, we know that those are different manufacturers, but
Yeah.
that was like the first one that was blatantly apparent to me of just like in your face how different they were, and this is not a hot take, but like I guess everybody would say like I prefer the Innova, the one that has Rancho Cucamonga on the stamp on the bottom or embossed, I should say.
Yeah, I guess now that you're mentioning it brings me back to what I got. I got a Steve Brinster Splatter Star Destroyer, thing's flat top as ever. And I just had like a Paul Macbeth 4-time like destroyer, star, both star. And while the 4 times were like relatively, they're overstable, that Steve Brinster like Splatter Star Destroyer went from like, if I were to throw it flat, and like even still now I throw it flat, it's straight down. It just actively wants to get to the ground.
I am looking right now on the PDGA approved disc just to see if they've ever had to resubmit destroyers, because
I guess, yeah.
Because my question,
they shouldn't have to, because the only thing that would change, like nothing changes with it. Like it's all just the way that like parting lines come together or anything
they've
like that.
only
Like
ever
the millimeters are still the same.
The only reason
Like,
why I bring that up is because of the Supreme run. And like
oh
you
yeah,
think about that, like what is Supreme's just being in my brain, my dumb brain. Supreme this are being marketed to my dumb brain as just as a different plastic.
yeah.
But obviously, it's being retooled and they're having it's coming for resubmission. It's so wild to me that the Destroyer has been submitted for approval once, and it was approved on June 26th, 2007.
Jeez.
And realistically, there are like 7 different types of destroyers that like could have been approved with all different flight numbers and different types of things. Because like think about the Halo one. More. Halo ones are pop toppy. You've got your Brinster one is flat.
That. You've got the Halo ones that came out before they.
Yeah, why is so you click the real quick?
Flat.
Real quick, you click the photo on the approved disc for the Destroyer from Innova Champion Disc, and it says 2007 approval. And then you click the photos, and it's the Halo Destroyer as the photos. What's going on? Like you look at other.
This is the first iteration of the Destroyer.
Apparently the Halo in 2007 was the first iteration. Because it's funny, like you look back through and like you find something that's like was approved in like 2007, and it looks like that is it. But apparently, there we go. If you got a Halo Destroyer out there, according to the PDGA site, it is a first run Destroyer.
That's good.
Oh man.
Oh, PDGA, update your things, please.
I do want to interview Jeff Homburg. That's like he's my bucket list interview. He's the guy that approves everything. But
what a fun job too. What a fun job.
He approves discs and targets.
Yeah.
I want to go to his house, talk about disc collection.
Yeah, right? Oh gosh.
I know he's working on something, or like I shouldn't say I know for a fact, but I heard that he was working on something as far as like, so if like once the Disc Golf Hall of Fame moves, that'd be like a museum where like it was just like in filing, like big file racks where like he had everything, and like you could put on like gloves and go like touch stuff. It'd be a dream. I'd spend 8 hours in there just like looking at things.
Yeah.
Because he keeps literally everything.
You wouldn't be able to pull me out of that place.
No, you'd have to go through TSA security leaving to make sure that you didn't steal anything.
Real. Real. Oh gosh. That's insane. That's insane.
Well, we're approaching the hour mark, so we
Yeah,
can wrap it
there we
up.
are.
Buy or sell? What do you got for me tonight?
I don't have much, but as it was, this isn't disc golf related at all.
That's fine.
Buy or sell Starburst jelly beans as the best form of jelly bean.
Buy.
I agree. I love Starburst jelly
Yeah,
beans.
those are. I look forward to them every single year. Now, do I think they're the best jelly bean? No. But do I think
Okay.
But I think like flavor wise, I think that they're like. So you buy or sell, like you said, buy or sell, they are the best jelly bean.
Yeah.
Because now I'm contradicting myself. This is hard because I really like Jelly Belly, but like I
Okay.
don't.
Yeah.
It's
Well,
hard.
Jelly Belly is like really the only competition that Starburst jelly beans have.
Well, yeah, because anybody that likes black jelly beans and black licorice,
Gosh, get out of here.
straight to jail. You should go straight to jail.
Gone. Please go.
Man,
And my
I'm still gonna buy it.
qualification for that. Yeah, my qualification for that is like they're jelly beans that I could get at any time, and I don't really care about those. But I look forward to Starburst jelly beans, and that's why I say that they're the best. So people might flame us for it because the people that don't like Starburst jelly beans are adamant about that fact. So
What's your rank the Starburst flavors in order from best to worst?
oh, green 1, yellow 2.
No, we're just talking like the OG, the original Starburst package. Because green is not an OG.
The actual Starburst package.
Yes.
I thought we were still on jelly beans. Okay, and the OG Starburst package. Red, yellow, orange, pink.
What? Hold up.
Yeah,
You put pink last?
I put pink last.
No.
I put pink last, dude.
No way. The correct order is pink, red, orange, yellow.
No. This is personal opinion at this point.
Well, I'm sorry your opinion's wrong. Like it's just
wrong.
like I'm about to text the Night Owls guys.
Do it.
I'm gonna do it right now.
Have they ranked them yet?
I don't know. No.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, you may not like it, but it is what it is.
Man. And we'll see what they say. I just said, please order the Starburst flavors in order from best to worst, and we'll see what these guys have to say.
Yeah.
Man. So for my buy or sell, aces are good shots. We all know that they're good shots. I just had to.
Okay, I will actually amend my statement from before because I do think that like if you are intentionally running an ace.
Oh, we're going back at this again. I was just joking.
I know, but if you are intentionally running an ace and that's what you're intending, great. Yes, it's a great shot. But if you are like just throwing the disc to throw the disc and it randomly goes in, yeah, it's great. But it's not what you intended.
Okay. Here we go. Courtesy of JP, who went above and beyond and gave them their actual flavors.
Wow. Way to go, JP.
JP said cherry, strawberry, orange, lemon. So red, pink, orange, yellow.
He was the same as you. Yeah.
No, item flip. Pink's. I had pink as the best. Shane Solomon
Oh,
has. Our fearless leader Shane has pink, red, yellow, orange.
so that was. Oh, he sandwiched yellow in the middle there. Okay.
Um. Yeah. So that's what they. No one can agree on anything other than JP and I are agreeing that yellow is trash.
Yellow's not
What
trash.
was your order again?
My order is red, yellow, orange, pink.
Red, yellow, orange, pink. This is a good time. Um, this is a good time just to tell everybody to rate us, subscribe us, vote for your own favorite Starburst in the bottom.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. So I was just joking about the aces being bad shots.
All right.
My buy or sell is that if you have a cart, you I lost my train of thought.
You have a cart.
Oh,
Cart
if you
life.
have a cart, you don't need to put every single possible accessory on there.
Oh, that's a big buy.
Okay, so the reason why I bring this up is when I was out at the course, I saw a guy that had, when I was doing the UDIS, this guy was, he was using an R3 at Baird's. Good luck to you just in the hills sense of it. But
Yeah, right.
he had two umbrellas, the beatbox thing from Bushnell, bumping
Okay.
tunes. He had two water bottle holders, the putter pouch, and I'm just like, so I guess I'm amending my buy or sell. Is our can our carts be overkill? Buy or sell?
Oh yeah, carts can be overkill. Yeah, I'll buy that. Carts can be overkill. Like there'll be days where I'm just like, oh yeah, I'm just gonna pare down my bag, go to my small backpack, and rock that. Um, the only time I really bring out the cart is if the course calls for it, and like I'm actually doing like tournament prep stuff. So
Yeah, I just don't. I don't know. Bags are a conversation for a different day and a different podcast
truly,
where we can talk about them. But it's just like I don't think you need literally everything. And like
no.
the algorithm has given me like said, "Are you interested in this Zuka cart mod Facebook group?" And I'm like, "That's a thing." And then like I looked through it,
Yeah,
and there are some people that have just made their Zuka carts tanks, and I'm like, "This is overkill." Like you have a bag, you're just supposed to either put it in there or like,
I can't remember how long ago it was, but it was like it wasn't a actual um, cart. It was someone's homemade cart where they actually strapped up a propane tank with a heater for winter golf, so that as they were pushing it, the heater was blowing hot air at them. And I was like, "What are you people doing?"
"Oh my
Some
god,
people have some. Some people have some elaborate cart setups, and
yes."
it's impressive and scary.
Yeah, but then you can only fit 7 discs in them there because you have a cooler and a grill and
Got you ready for the cookout at the end. You know
oh my
that.
god. Yeah. Real quick, we'll end with this and then this group chat between the Night Owls fellas is getting interesting because Shane said, I think it's weird that JP uses the flavors other than colors. And JP just goes, he asked for flavors, and so I mean I did, but that's another question. Do you just say colors? Like I feel like it's like Gatorade. Like I only say
It's
like I
yeah,
work for the company that sells Gatorade, and I only use the colors.
yeah. I only use the colors really for Gatorade. I saw one meme on Facebook that said if you use the actual true flavors, the true flavors of a Gatorade, you're a cop. And so
the only thing that
okay, officer.
So the only one that you're allowed to get away with using the flavor is because there's 2 blues.
Yeah, Arctic freeze. Yeah.
Glacier freeze.
Oh yeah, Arctic.
But even then, people say light blue and dark blue.
Hey, get me a light blue Gatorade, please. Done.
Dunzo. All right. Well,
wild.
Thanks for joining us on Casual Relief. We will be back in a couple of weeks. We will be on moving to our own channel, so we will not be a part of. We'll be a part of Night Owls and the Door Disc Golf Media podcast conglomerate. Yeah, I don't know what we're calling it yet, but we will still be a part of the group of media that is Door Disc Golf. We will just be on our own separate feed, so we're not bombarding the people with so much content during the week. So we will be moving to our new home under Casual Relief with all that good stuff. So you'll have to search for Casual Relief in a few weeks. Thank you for listening to us. We really appreciate it. Make sure you drop a like and rate us, subscribe, do all that good stuff. So be on the lookout for the Hooligan interview coming up and just all that good stuff. So thank you for listening, Michael.
There's no spoilers in live sports.
There's no spoilers in live sports. Take it easy. We'll catch you on the next one.